Good morning and welcome to Pandy. It's the captain and I's last day, fourth of this little taster of Offa's Dyke, and our destination today finally is Monmouth, 16 miles. Now, we're not looking at an awful lot of elevation, not an awful lot of hills and crags and so forth, just maybe 150 metres or so here and there. So the way is going to wind up and up and up over these first little hills, and it's going to be country lanes, little woodlands and the occasional pub. So watch this space. So there we go, leaving Pandy behind, the fell just behind where we came off yesterday, and this is how it's going to be. A bit of gentle rolling countryside, nothing too taxing, no sign of Offa's Dyke on our OS maps, and all we're going to do is trundle along into Monmouth and pick out the last of the guide signs for Offa's Dyke path. It's been a fantastic adventure. Hot one today, 26, and as you look at Skerrid Vawr and I pan around, you can see there's barely a cloud in the sky. Well, like we said earlier, there's not going to be an awful lot of the actual Offa's Dyke earth wall as such to see today, but if you're looking for beautiful scenery, I think we've hit the jackpot, because this is just absolutely marvellous, idyllic even. So down a bit, along a bit, up a little bit, in every direction. Oh, it's just lovely. Even the captain's enjoying it. Awesome. There you go. I think the sign's seen a little bit of wear and tear, but at least we're on the right way. Is this St George's that we read about? Do you know, just with this sunshine, hang on a minute, with this whitewash, in this setting with these almost cypress trees, it could be Malta. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. That kind of vibe. Oh. Oh, what a shame. This is very old. Wow. Crooked door. St Cadoc's. So while we start to get really comfortable with this is the shape of the day, rolling farmers' fields and the occasional shady little nook under a coppice, the captain assures me there's a bit of a place of interest ahead, White Castle. Checking his Ordnance Survey map, it looks like some kind of old medieval establishment. Maybe it is a White Castle, so we're going to carry on, check it out, and if you follow us, you'll find out too. So there we go, a couple of fields later we've got the crumbly remains of White Castle's battlements. Wasn't sure what to expect when you old castle. It's not quite the tourist trap of your Bamburghs and your Warkwiths, but we're just going to go around the front because this is the way Offa's Dyke path goes, and we'll see what we see when we're around the front of it. There used to be 3 castles in Monmouthshire, and this is White Castle, and what it says on the blurb there, this is the best remaining, best preserved. You can imagine it's been quite an impressive structure back in the day. Still got your moat, your motte and bailey. Fantastic. What's it say? There you go, a little village outside. I'm going to just cross here. It's been fortified into stone over the years. There we go. So this will be the outer ward. Fantastic. Something there for the archers to shoot out of. Excellent. Inner ward meets our expectations. Medieval tower, high stone walls, sophisticated combination of portcullis, death holes, so you get hit by arrows from that wee slot there. And if you wanted to get in here and you're a cold caller or unwelcome tribesman or something, you get rocks thrown at you from up there on the battlements. Wasn't that fantastic? Amazing, Captain. Now sadly we don't have the time to explore it and make the most of its potential because, well, you know, even though we're not in a rush, it's about the journey, not necessarily the destination. We're certainly not going to be able to give it the time it deserves for a full exploration, but just as a quick glimpse, White Castle, certainly up there among the Warkwiths and the Bamburghs in its day, I imagine. Certainly still a pretty significant moat with its stone-built walls, embankments, keeping it safe. So, thank you, White Castle. Caps and I will sashay on, maybe after a bit of a slurp of tea and a biscuit, and soak in some of the atmos. Amazing. Bottoms up. Wasn't that fantastic? A little farmhouse where they've got a little bar, the Hog's Head, in the middle of nowhere. So just 1 pint, and now it's back to the route. Fantastic. Just enough. Single pint, a bit of shade, use the toilet, and then we keep sailing. Absolutely fantastic. So the adventure continues, and after stopping there for just 15-20 minutes for fluids in the form of a cruise campo, you'd be surprised what a little break can do for morale. And also, you've had a bit of a break from the pressure on the old knees and ankles, and it's just all for the good. So we can just spot beyond that electricity pylon there on the horizon, we can just see the outline of a forest, and that's probably going to be the King's Forest, which lies on just a slight rise above Monmouth. So we're continuing. It's all good, and so is the scenery. Look at this. It is just a walk in the countryside, literally. So it's going to be on the toasty side, and we thought we'd stop for lunch, and what better place than an ancient tree with a seat and some shade, and there's a breeze, and we're still slack-jawed at just how bad everything is. It's all dead, look. The dust, it's not even sand in the fields. I mean, this thing will be here for another 1,000 years. It's probably been here for that long. But in the meantime, spot of lunch, bit of shade, and a sandwich.
Trees everywhere. Everywhere you look.
Yeah. You don't have to sort of walk very far or very long to end up underneath another little canopy, do you? Bit of shade. Yeah, a bit of shade, that'd be good. Oh, lovely. Always grateful for a bit of shade. A leafy lane. It may have been wiser if we're going to treat this as a 4-day adventure in future, if we'd thought about it, given our age, to do 2 days and then jump a day or rest completely. So still do 4 out of what may be 5 stages, but have a day in the middle where you rest. I think we're experiencing that at the minute, aren't we, Captain?
Yep.
The cumulative effects of terrain, weight and distance. But we're good. Just gonna keep pressing on, and I'm sure we'll cross the finishing line in Monmouth later on today. Well, we're going in the right direction. Next chapter is going to be the King's Forest, just over my shoulder there. So an opportunity for some shade, maybe a bit of a breeze, because yeah, I'm still sweating like a monsoon. Running out of water. So let's get some shade, press on. Probably an hour and a half to go. What a fantastic day. Challenging in its own way, just by being so bloody hot and aches and pains. And the farmer's doing his thing there. What's going on here? Getting his hay. Fantastic. So just before we do cross the finishing line, which will be on the other side of this this forest, it's just quite curious how a deciduous forest as big as this, one of the biggest we've seen in quite a while, isn't it, Captain? We're used to things like Grisdale or Annandale in the Lake District. Listen.
We can hear the creaking of AJ's backpack.
There's nothing. We heard a single bird earlier. Hum of insects.
Slurping of tea.
But there's nothing else. It's a little curious. Expecting a pine forest, don't you, Captain? Anyway, what did we say? Less than 3 miles, 2 and a bit. We're going to press on, enjoy a bit of the shade under the canopy, come out the other side and over the finishing line. So if you're still here, thanks for watching. This last, I'd say, this last third after that pub has been very challenging in this heat. But we're going to get there. So I think pretty much we're coming to the edge of the wood. Then it's a country lane and into Monmouth. So just to share with you maybe your thoughts, the Captain and I usually, when we've been places like the West Highland Way and Northumberland and so forth, we usually set off really early. And in the summer, if you can be on your way by 7 AM like we usually do, all the exertion you're going to commit yourself to is going to be done when it's much, much cooler. We didn't even get to Pandy till gone 9 this morning, waiting for breakfast at the little boutique bijou B&B, and then the only time we could get a taxi. So there are limitations, but I would say if you're considering doing this in the summer, it's the best time to do it. Trees are green, weather's nice. If you can sort it, set off maybe a couple of hours earlier than we could. So there we go, Pandy to Monmouth. We're just about on the doorstep of the hotel. 16 miles, bit of a challenge because of the old heat wave, but we made it. So thanks for following us along so far. It's time to draw a line under it and get ourselves a cold one. Thanks for joining us. So 4 days on the Offa's Dyke path from Knighton to Monmouth. So what's it been like, Offa's Dyke path? I think it's been amazing. Besides the wonderful things we've seen, the Dyke itself, castles, forests, fantastic views from the edge of the plateaus on the Black Mountains, there's just a couple of things I'd change. Not problematic things, just things to do with our age and our ability. So we've done it over 4 days. What I'd do if we're going to do something like this in future, I'd certainly do 2 days, have a complete day off, and then do another 2 days. So it's going to add up to 5 or 6 if you have a break at the end. It's certainly going to make life a lot easier. So what was the best bit? I like seeing the Dyke itself, inspiring a sense of wonder that people hundreds and hundreds of years ago would have spent day after day, month after month building something that was that important to them and has lasted this long. Even the castle, something a bit more recent, was fantastic at White Castle, that oldest castle in Monmouthshire. But it's been great just to thread ourselves through little hamlets, past little churches, little forests, little coppices, little villages, the occasional pub, but always beautiful views in every direction. And that's something that, when I contrast this trip with my Pennine Way adventure, I have to say this has been much more enjoyable. Lots to see. So 65 miles over 4 days. The only change I'd make is to make it over 5, with a break after the first 2 and a break after the last 2. Appreciate you joining me so far. You stuck with it till the end. We've had a good time. So next series of videos, it's Brecon Beacons for the captain and I. Not across them, it's going to be round them.